Welcome to your fresh flower tutorial. So if you buy a kit, this is what you'll be receiving. If you were coming to a workshop and are picking up or getting a kit delivered, this is what you will get. So I'm going to do a method where I'm going to use it more in my hand, and then I'm going to show you how to put it into the jar. So I'm going to start out with this salal leaf. If you have clippers handy, I have some garden shears. Scissors could work. They might be a little bit tricky. And then I'm also going to take this wire grid and fold it into a bit of an egg. So all the pointy bits will be facing in. This is going to really help with your placement, okay? So I'm right-handed. I'm going to hold the leaves in my left, keep it nice and loose. And I'm going to put this grid in the middle of my leaves. It should nestle pretty well. You might have to poke it in there a little bit. And then I'm going to add my pampas. So I've cut it into 2 stems. You can cut it into more if you think you're going to want it a little shorter, but I'm placing it right into the grid there. And then I'm going to go with the eucalyptus. I sometimes like to clean off some of these extra leaves. You don't want to get all a bunch of leaves in the water. Once you put it into your vase, it can get a little bit dirty. And then I'm going to go with my solidago and thistle. So you'll be receiving it quite branchy. So with scissors or clippers, I'm going to take off some of these side pieces, and I'm going to pop that right in to all my little spots, and it's staying quite nicely. You kind of have to hold it a little bit loose with your hand. The thistle's a little tricky to break, so I'm going to trim that off. And just finding some spots all the way around. You don't have to be too worried about how you're working with this. And so I'm actually going to pause here and do a little measurement with my jar. So this is the jar you'll be getting. We use room temperature or cold water. Tap water is fine. A little preservative. Just half a pack is great. You can change the water, recut the stems after a couple days, new water. So I'm just going to measure that it is about 2.5 times the size of my jar. So that's to about right here. And then I'm going to use my clippers to trim that off. If you have a regular elastic, or I love these little ouchless hair elastics, they come in clear too, where you can kind of tie this up. That's also going to keep your display put together. Then we're going to pop that right into the vase. So again, we're going for a wildflower look, nothing too perfect. We just want to make sure it's staying sturdy in your vase. And then we're going to add a few of our carnations and dianthus. Again, scissors, clippers. I've got a paring knife. I like to cut it with my right hand because that's my writing hand at an angle. Be careful, nobody cut yourself. And then I'm just going to find some nice spots in my vase to stagger these. I'm going to put my carnations in. I like one tall and I like one lower. If you have them side by side, all of a sudden you've got bunny ears. No good. So put one a little bit lower. And then we can add a little bit of the leather leaf for finishing touches. You can trim off some of these short bits, or sometimes I like to get 2 out of 1. And then you've got a nice framework for your vase just to finish it off so that you kind of have a nice shape from all around. I'm kind of thinking it's a little bit more one-sided. Getting a little fussy to stick in, and it's nice if you have all these leaves because your vase is going to really stay put and stay in place. And then once you have all of your products in, you can definitely play around with things. Get those scissors or clippers handy. My salal went a little wingy, so I think I'm just going to do a little trim a little end off there, trim a little end off the back. You can cut longer pieces and then pop them back into the vase if you wish. We're kind of going for a layered look, a little bohemian. All of these pieces are going to dry really nicely. And so if you keep the water fresh, change the water after a couple of days, it's going to last even longer. I really don't like this piece right here. And please, please post videos and finished product pictures on your story. If you're not on social media, email them to me. I'd love to see how you guys are spending your time. This is also very kid friendly as well. So happy crafting.